I'm Zach, and today we'll be talking about Langston Hughes.
I'm Will, and today we will be talking about his awards and accomplishments.
I'm Isaiah, and today we'll be talking about his lifestyle.
I'm Nate, and today we're going to be talking about the Harlem Renaissance.
Langston Hughes was born on February 1st, 1901 in Joplin, Missouri. Hughes loved reading and writing, especially poetry. In the 1920s, Hughes became an important writer during the Harlem Renaissance, a movement that celebrated black culture and creativity. He died on May 22nd, 1967 in New York City. His home in Harlem is now a landmark, and he is remembered as one of America's greatest poets.
In Langston Hughes' lifetime, he won many awards, such as the National Institute of Arts and Letters, the Ainsfeld Wolf Book Awards, the Spingarn Medal, and the honorary doctorates. Through poetry, stories, and plays, Hughes captured the spirit of Harlem using jazz and blues rhythm in his writing. He also spoke out against racism and injustice, encouraging black pride and unity. His work helped shape Harlem Renaissance by proving that black artists had something unique and valuable to offer to the American and literature culture.
This is Jeopardy! I'm Alex Trebek with a surprising return. And today, we're going to introduce our contestants. Our first contestant, Isaiah Tillman. He is currently unemployed, actually.
And our second contestant here is Will Rohrback, who also seems to be unemployed. Wow, they both really need this prize money.
Isaiah, you're going to go ahead and start us off today. Pick a category.
For my first category, I'm going to go with Harlem Renaissance for 200.
Question. This cultural movement of the 1920s celebrated African American art and literature in Harlem.
I'm going to have to go with what is the Harlem Renaissance?
And the answer is, what is the Harlem Renaissance?
Will, you are back on the board. Which question would you like to answer?
Mr. Trebek, let's do Renaissance for 600.
What is the term that refers to the pride in African American culture and identity that emerged during the Harlem Renaissance?
Alex, the answer is, what is racial pride?
Yes, racial pride is indeed the correct answer, Will.
And that is our first segment. We will be right back after this commercial break.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it sink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load.
In the quote, "What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun?" The author uses imagery to create a picture inside the reader's head about their dreams. Langston Hughes wanted people to think deeply about what happens to those lost dreams and ideas, whether they dry up and become forgotten in the sea of memories or shrivel up into a raisin in the sun out in the open. Perhaps Hughes wanted to piece together a new way of thinking of our lost ideas.
Hughes uses these rhetorical questions, such as, does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, to subtly influence his audience, to make his words more powerful. When it's proposed as a question, it makes the reader have to heed and really think about the words provided. Hughes gives many rhetorical questions just in this small poem. It really makes it more powerful and interesting.
I too sing America by Langston Hughes. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America.
We see him use a metaphor in referring to himself as I too am America. The reason that the author uses this metaphor is because during this time there was lots of racism, so he was trying to prove his point that African Americans are also people that contribute and help the country. He wrote this poem in response to Walt Whitman's famous poem I Hear America Sing, because he wanted to include African Americans which felt left out. But this time, Langston Hughes' poem directly addresses the themes of racial inequality and inclusion in America. I'm Tilly.
And I'm Willie.
And today we have the LRD podcast.
Okay, Isaiah, what's an LRD or a use of rhetorical device that really spoke out to you? Made you think?
You know, when reading some of his poems, one of them I really wanted to focus on and talk about today was I Too by
That's a
Langston
good
Hughes.
one.
Because he uses symbolism and
Really?
just the way he does it
you'll be at the Thanksgiving parties,
Yeah.
and there's always a kids table and an adults table.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's showing
He's
here.
symbolizing,
He's showing
yeah.
here because he's talking about the table as a symbol of equality and social integration. Like, because being a part of the table is a good thing, and he's fearing that they're gonna send him to the kitchen. So
Like
as
he's
a
being
kid-
left out of the Thanksgiving table. Like,
yeah, like as a kid, you're looking forward to sitting with the parents, you know, getting the Martinellis and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But instead, you just at the kids' table with the apple juice.
Yeah. Because he wants the audience to
Wow, I feel like he wants them to feel incorporated, feel power, like we're all together, we're all one.
Yeah.
And that's really his main point.
That is good. That's a great point.
You know, I want to add on to that. I think he also uses illusion there. Like the idea, the image of being sent to like the kitchen, he kind of alludes to the idea of segregation and discrimination. Like you said, that idea of the adult table being sent to the kitchen, it like alludes to the idea of him being segregated from these people who have all this freedom. Like, why is it fair for them to be segregated? And I also think he alludes to Walt Whitman's poem, I Hear America, because, you know, in I Hear America, it talks about how great America is, how citizens are free to do what they want. But he's saying, like, I too am American. So he's basically saying, like, why are the African Americans not a part of this idea of America, you know?
Have you ever been grounded with no iPhone and decided to eat and realize how boring it is? Well, I found something that you could do while eating instead of using your iPhone. It's called reading a book. Reading a book has been proven to improve dopamine levels. It also makes kids smarter. These are all reasons why you should read a book. Have you ever been bored, lonely, and tired, and don't even know what to do with your life? Well, I have a solution for you.
Carpe diem. I'm currently training to climb Mount Everest.
This is just one example of how Carpe Diem could change your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jeopardy. I want impact for 1,000.
Well, Will, the question is, what are some short-term impacts Langston Hughes had on the world?
Yeah, Alex, I knew this was happening, so I know I have an answer. The answer is, what is, he brought African American culture to a broader audience through his poetry, plays, and essays.
Well, Will, that is correct. He did bring African American culture to a broader audience through his poetry, plays, and essays. Isaiah, you are back on the table. Which question would you like to answer?
We'll go with impact for 800.
Well, Isaiah, your question is going to be, what are some long-term effects Langston Hughes had on the world?
Alex, I'm going to say it helped establish African Americans' literature as a respected part of America.
Well, Isaiah, that is correct.
Now it's time for the final Jeopardy!
What would you guys like to bid?
I'm going all in.
I think I'm going to do the same. Alex, I'm going to go all in as well.
And for the final question, what are the 2 words that make up the phrase, seize the day? What is Carpe Diem?
Alex, our answers aren't matching up here. I got, what is pork for?
And the answer was Carpe Diem. Will, you have one. You have one. Come here, Will. Come here, Will.
There you go. There you go. There you go, Will. There you go.
All right. And that will do it. Langston Jeopardy is over.
Langston Hughes questions what happens when dreams are deferred, whether they decay or fester. Hughes uses intense imagery, like a raisin in the sun, to create a picture of potential pain. The informal structure of the poem engages the reader, which makes the poem feel impactful. The poem does a great job of building tension while holding a delightful melody. Harlem by Langston Hughes is a timeless masterpiece.